as very unsure of myself. I wouldn't describe myself as shy, but I would describe myself as uncertain, a bit quiet, reserved, and I'm not the same person anymore. Franklin Pierce put this fire in my belly, so to speak, raised this confidence that I didn't even know existed.
What I'm most proud about from being within the Franklin Pierce story is I was able to find who I was, and I was able to find the people that I was supposed to meet and supposed to become friends with. And I gained confidence while I was here, and I took that with me.
As we celebrate our 60th anniversary, we treasure our history and are so proud of the profound impact Franklin Pierce education has had on over 20,000 alumni. And we are just getting started.
I heard of Franklin Pierce College because it was a brand new school in 1966 when I applied for admission. And fortunately, Franklin Pierce took me on probation. No other place would take me at all. And that's when I turned a new leaf and started to work really hard. This was a golden opportunity, the only opportunity I would ever have to be able to succeed. And the individual attention I got here at the college helped me make up my deficiencies. And I worked my tail off all 4 years, literally. I had professors like Moriarty and Tom DeRozier, those are my two favorite professors at the time, helped guide me and encourage me. So Franklin Pierce University played an incredible role in my being able to succeed. And I'm incredibly grateful to the school with the one-on-one attention and the influence of key people in my life that have allowed me to be who I am today. And I like to do pro bono stuff like coming back and giving my time to try to help students who want to consider a career in clinical psychology like I'm doing today, to be able to help, and also with the fundraising, because I believe you just don't forget what a place has done for you.
While I was a student here and as I was leaving, I felt that I had made relationships that were going to be lifelong, and they are. And I felt deeply connected to people and really to learning. I was a strong high school student, but I think I was bored a lot. And I learned how to love learning at Franklin Pierce. And I don't think I've realized how important that transition was. Not just learning because I needed to, or wanted to get good grades, but learning because the people I was learning from were absolutely passionate about what they were talking about, and they helped me discover those passions too.
I'd never lived away from home before, so it was just nice how inviting everybody was, and friends, and it was really fun. Probably a week into freshman year, and I saw Rollin walking. I lived in the floor below God's country. Was it Mount Washington? Was the hotel? Yeah, the hotel. So I lived below him, and I sort of followed him, and as he was going up to his floor, I asked him if he knew what time it was, and he turned around, and of course he had like long hair, and I know he was wearing a button down, because he always wears a button down, those Stan Smith sneakers and some tan corduroys, And he said, oh yeah, I don't know what time it is, man, or whatever. And then I went to see my roommate. I walked in, I said, I just met the boy I'm going to marry. So it's true.
So when I arrived at Pierce, I think maturity might have been lacking a little bit. And I grew up a lot in those 4 years. It really gave me a chance as sort of a late maturer to go to college and experience college, but on my own time, really get focused about the future. So it worked out really well for me.
I've been thinking what type of lessons and the type of people that went to Franklin Pierce and what did I get out of that. We didn't really seem to fit into the traditional way of learning, like sit down and, read a book. We all read obviously, but you know what I mean? We just weren't into the traditional way of learning. And so I think what happened there is that all these people ended up coming a little rough, but ended up graduating as diamonds. And I mean, Mothral and I are entrepreneurs, and I think it's because of that we were able to learn the way we were meant to learn and realize, how smart we really are. Mm-hmm. Anyway, yep. So that's it. So I think it raises a lot of entrepreneurs.
Since leaving Franklin Pierce, I've started my own insurance business, and now I have another side business. I've started a nonprofit called Tango, which stands for the Alliance for Nonprofit Growth and Opportunity. Fast forward to today, we have 1,500 nonprofits that have joined, including Franklin Pierce, and it's really become sort of a blending between the for-profit world, socially conscious for-profit world, supporting nonprofits for the betterment of both. And it's been really fun to re-engage with Franklin Pierce on that level, which has brought me much closer to them and to the school at this stage in my life than I would have ever imagined.
I grew up in the Mid-Atlantic, Virginia area basically, in a military family, and went off to college, dropped out of college after about a year and a half, and went into the grocery business and found my way from Florida back up to the New Hampshire area, and knew that I had to get my degree and decided to go to the continuing education program at Franklin Pierce in the Keene campus. We came here, my daughter was born right after we got here in '86, and my boys were 3 and 2 at the time. The ability to take 2 or 3 classes per evening or per semester was really important to me. I got my associate degree initially, but it took me about 6-7 years to finish it. I knew it wasn't going to be easy, and like anything that's worthwhile, it's going to take a lot of hard work, some grit, determination to get it done, and to also make sure that you're moving your career along at the same time while having a reasonable work-life balance at home. And so it was a challenge, but well worth it, and frankly, it made a huge difference in my career here at CNS. I never would have gotten to the role that I'm at right now if I hadn't gotten my degree. I'm thrilled with Franklin Pierce and the relationship that we have. Multiple decades now, we've had an internship program with Franklin Pierce, and it's provided a good opportunity for students to experience the business world while they're getting their education, so they can relate the things that they're learning to an actual multi-billion-dollar company and effectively have a role that gives them a good understanding of what a career looks like and determine whether that type of career is a good fit for them. The administration and the faculty at Franklin Pierce have their fingers on the pulse of the business world. The transitions that are occurring, they're adjusting their curriculum accordingly, and that's really important because the world's shifting.
Whenever I'm faced with an obstacle or a challenge and I get that resistance of no, I know that I have a determination that I don't think people even understand yet, that I'm going to get to that end goal that I want. That's what Franklin Pierce put in me. And I realize this even in my businesses, as I'm constantly analyzing the experiences of other people. That started Franklin Pierce when I was probably 19 or 20. I was evaluating the experiences that I was having, my peers were having, and there was something missing. Alana, the name hadn't come to me just yet. So Alana is an acronym for African American, Latino, Asian, and Native American students. So when I graduated, it was the first thing I said, if I'm ever in a position of power to enact change, this is what I want to do. And I remember it was just weeks after I had been hired that was the first thing that I began working on. And boy, did I work on it. I told everyone that would listen about the dream of the Alana program, about a diversity initiative that needed to exist. And a misstep into the president's calendar in 2006 allotted me 15 minutes so that I could pitch this to the board of directors and the president of the university. And after that meeting, they thought that this was a great idea, and that's when Alana was born. And this was the first university-funded diversity and inclusion initiative. Diversity is about making sure that you're invited to the party. Inclusion is asking, do you want to dance? So you invite students to your campus, you accept them in through admissions and matriculation, and then when they get there, then you ask, what can I do to make your experience better here? That is what Alana and a diversity, equity, and inclusion program and office is doing.
Franklin Pierce University. It is a very complex organization. It isn't just our traditional residential campus in beautiful Rindge, New Hampshire with 1,200 acres. We have academic centers in Lebanon, in Manchester, New Hampshire, and of course in Goodyear, Arizona. We have graduate programs, full-time and part-time. We have online programs, and we have a really diverse academic portfolio. One of the ways that we try to connect the complexity of the organization through a diverse academic portfolio is by articulating our undergraduate programs to our graduate programs to give students every opportunity to continue their education after they earn their bachelor's degree.
Corey and myself, we graduated from FPU in 2010, and right now I work for UMass and I do home care, and I specialize in wound management.
So I work for Seward Medical Group. That's a sports rehab clinic in Groton. It's a part of the Neshoba Valley Medical Center.
I was very fortunate at Franklin Pierce because Olga McSorley, she was able to get me a rotation in Utah, specializing in the burn ICU. I really think that rotation helped me a lot, and ever since then I've just been like super involved in wounds and the integumentary system.
My first rotation was in the hospital setting, so that's where I got a chance to see people post-op day 0 and day 1 following a total joint replacements or ACL repairs or shoulder surgeries. And then my second rotation was working at a skilled nursing facility. And then from that, I went into working at acute rehab at the hospital. So it really paved the way for making me comfortable in those areas and then establishing my knowledge base and my comfort level working with outpatient orthopedics.
So when I think of Franklin Pierce, what immediately comes to my mind is the words life-changing. Very positive. I'm just really thankful that myself and Corey went to Franklin Pierce. We developed so many friends there that they're our family now. Some of my best friends I talk to every day, and we met in Franklin Pierce.
For me, when I think of Franklin Pierce, and the word that comes to mind is passion. They really helped me develop a passion for what I do. That's the big thing. We love what we do, and if you love what you do, you don't go to work, you're just having fun.
Knew that I wanted to go into healthcare. I actually started out at Franklin Pierce wanting to do physical therapy. As I took the wide range of health science classes we have, my journey shifted a lot throughout that time. I thought about med school and being a physician's assistant. So I graduated and still wasn't sure which direction I wanted to go into. I knew that I wanted to go to a grad program, but I wanted to really nail down what that direction was going to be before I committed to a program. So I applied to be the graduate assistant in residential life to do the master's in business administration on the healthcare administration track. Ultimately, over the years, after getting my MBA, the master's entry program in nursing was available, and I was able to join that program and pursue a nursing career. It was the fastest year and a half of my life and was the most fulfilling experience I've ever had, and am exactly where I've always wanted to be for myself. And I'm already applying to jobs and just gonna shoot myself off into a residency program, looking to work in a labor and delivery setting essentially immediately with my first job.
Being a Raven, being an alum, shapes the way I try to lead our current students, because it reminds me that being a college student and being a Franklin Pierce student is a comprehensive experience. It's a holistic experience. It's about academics, it's about student life, and I really do think about the fact that students make consequential decisions while they are students at Franklin Pierce. We have graduate students that relocate their young families across the country to become a DPT student or a PA student. We have undergraduate students who fall in love and decide to get married and start a family together. I mean, those are really consequential life decisions made because of the people they've met at Franklin Pierce or the experiences they've had at Franklin Pierce. So I really do keep that in mind as I think about what's ahead for the university, or the way we organize support for students, or the way we make decisions about the curriculum or student life. All of those things have an impact on student experiences and therefore their futures.
I think the mountain can definitely be a metaphor for conquering your fears and conquering your goals. Because when I did get here originally, my freshman year, I decided to run for class president. And that was something where I was like, whew, this is out of my comfort zone. I don't know if I'm ready for this. I don't know if I want to do this. And then I ran for class president, and I was absolutely terrified doing it, but I was pushed outside my comfort zone. I did end up winning the election and becoming class president for 2 years, and I absolutely enjoyed it and loved every second of it. I think Franklin Pierce offers so many opportunities. That's just the tip of the iceberg. I knew that I wanted to work in medicine, but I didn't know where. And knowing that I would be able to go from my undergrad to a potential graduate program within the same school that I felt so welcomed at and just comforted by, that was a huge draw to why I picked Franklin Pierce. This day and age in 2022, it is absolutely overwhelming coming out. So back in the day, you would be able to just kind of have a college degree and you'd be able to go out and into the world and do whatever you wanted to do. Nowadays, it's how many letters do you have after your name and what are your experiences? It's overwhelming, it really is. There's a lot that goes into it. And to be able to have Franklin Pierce notice that and say, hey, let's kind of get your foot in the door. Let's give you all of the opportunities that we can to help you succeed. But they made it, I guess, a goal. They made it a good goal for you to actually get. They made it achievable. That's what I wanted to say. They made your goals achievable.
That's the thing, Franklin Pierce extends beyond your 4 years. It's not just college. You're coming to Franklin Pierce and you're going to leave with a wonderful degree, but you're also going to leave with this new extended family that you have. And it's going to be made up of your peers, of staff, of faculty. That's going to be your community that you build. And anytime you have something momentous in your life, you're going to go back and you're going to share that with that community. If I could use one word, home. Franklin Pierce will feel like home. Your professors will feel like family. Faculty and staff members will feel like aunts and uncles and cousins. This is a place it's hard for you to disappear. You can't. And that's what a family doesn't let you do. They don't let you disappear here, and they're not going to let you fall.
I've tried to lead Franklin Pierce University from the belief that we have tremendous capacity for pervasive institutional excellence. And the reason I think there's still capacity there is because we still have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do around diversity, equity, and inclusion. We have a lot of work to do around continuing to think strategically, plan strategically, have a long-range vision for the university. But all of that work is underway, and I think it's being led by really strong and passionate colleagues. And I think that no matter who leads this university, that those commitments will always be a centerpiece to our future. What we learn here and do here is bigger than all of us. And I think about the Franklin Pierce motto, ex umbrum ad lucem, from the shadow to the light. I think that's what education is essentially about. And that motivates me. I think it motivates all of us, knowing that when our students graduate from Franklin Pierce, they are changed. We have altered the course of people's lives because of the education at Franklin Pierce University. What is more powerful than that?
Yeah. I'm 60. I was born the same year I was.
Yeah, great. Well, yeah, we'd love to wish Franklin Pierce a happy birthday. Many more to you.
Yeah.
Thanks for everything you've given us.
Franklin Pierce, I love you. Happy 60th birthday.
From the bottom of my heart, I want to wish Franklin Pierce University a very happy 60th birthday.
Happy 60th birthday, Franklin Pierce, and to many more.
I definitely want to say happy 60th birthday, Franklin Pierce.